Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations to much love. The rest of you, sincere Akim, pushing the word in truth and sincerity. This is the Cleric Azar coming to you with another lesson. I'm continuing in my lot to bring you my ongoing series from Excerpts of Hollywood, This Factory of Perverseness, another observation of predictive programming and how art imitates life and vice versa. Just a reminder, the purpose of my videos is to show correlations. Correlation is an observation of a mutual relationship or connection between two or more things. I use movies to extract or extrapolate a narrative. I'm not glorifying the Hollywood culture or life. I have a wide knowledge of films, whether they be foreign or domestic, and I just use them as an example to bring out those similarities and those correlations. To quote Cecil B. DeMille, the greatest source of material for motion pictures is the Bible. I call this lesson, Concentration is More Important Than You Think. The image I have on display is from a film poster from a film I watched in my past. Of course, being this truth, I reflected on this particular series. As of yesterday, this movie turned 28 years of age. It was released on July 1st, 1994. The title of it is The Shadow, directed by Russell Mulcahy. And believe it or not, this actually is from a 1931 pulp magazine or radio show. Okay, this is really old school. I mean, this is before the superhero genre or the superhero movie genre as we know it. But I can remember this summer like it was yesterday. Slack for my voice, as I'm still recovering from a bad sore throat, so my voice isn't back 100% yet. I will try my best to get through this lesson here so you can understand what's going on. But basically, in this particular movie, the hero or the main character, he set himself up as a drug kingpin and warlord in Tibet, and basically he's kidnapped by this guy named a Toku, or a holy man who exhibits otherworldly powers, and he basically abducts him and offers him a chance to become a force for good. And he initially refuses and is attacked by the holy man's Purba. And I didn't know what a Purba was, or Furba. It's a mystical flying dagger. It's like, I don't know, it's an idol in Hinduism, but it's a symbol of enlightenment. And basically, he never got a chance to master this particular mystical flying dagger, but he was able to master all the other things had to do with hypnosis, telekinesis, and basically concentration. And I was kind of interested in this particular superhero's qualities, because he had the ability to, when he changed his costume, he basically didn't have to put on a costume. His face just changed, and trench coat just changed, and even like this little cowl will go over his mouth, but everything underneath his cowl would change. So even if you saw him on day to day on the street, he wouldn't look the same. They're very interesting. You don't really come to that many different superheroes that got these kind of powers. Well, anyway, it's almost rip off of Batman, but I think this guy actually preceded Batman. And if you watch like the Batman Begins, they took a lot from the beginning, from the Shadow, being in the snow terrain and being trained all these years and coming back as a wealthy playboy. Well, anyway, just like in Batman Begins, this particular organization that was teaching these people how to concentrate and use telekinesis and hypnosis, one of their students goes rogue and comes after the Shadow, which is the main character played by Alec Baldwin. And he also uses a particular scientist to create an atomic bomb. And it's kind of interesting because I forgot about how Esau was basically instructed by the Most High to make his weapons, or the ICBMs, or the nuclear missiles that are going to put the nail in his coffin, I should say. Of course, he has to go through his slavery and has to serve out his sentence, and then he's basically exterminated. But it shows you in this film how this particular scientist was manipulated to create the bomb. Okay. Well, anyway, back to the meaning of my lesson. Back to these particular powers. Alec Baldwin's character, Lamont Cranston, who plays the Shadow, he operates as this particular vigilante, and a lot of the powers he uses, he has to be in deep concentration. And I want to bring out the word concentration so you understand where I'm going with. The word concentration, the noun, is the action or power of focusing one's attention or mental effort, or dealing with one particular thing above all others. A close gathering of people or things, like the church, the action of gathering together closely, the relative amount of a given substance contained within a solution or a particular volume of space, the amount of solute per unit volume of solution. It talks about like concentrated liquids and things of that sort. But basically, I was just thinking about this truth and how you have to be almost concentrated on these things that are to come. The kingdom of heaven. All right, that ultimate goal, the ultimate prize, and basically concentrate on salvation so that we can get out of here. And of course, there's going to be some members of the elect that are going to exhibit these particular superpowers. But as of Philippians chapter 4, verse 13 reads, I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengthens me. Okay? And having that sound mind is also given to having self-control. Because finally, at the end of the film, spoiler alert, the character Lamont Cranston, played by Alec Baldwin, he finally masters his Purba, this mystical flying dagger. And I'm not saying to go out and get yourself one. I didn't know these things actually existed. I actually thought this was just made for the film. But this particular mystical flying dagger was finally able to be controlled by Alec Baldwin, and the whole entire time it was being controlled by the villain, because the villain was able to take control of it, and he had actually got to that level of enlightenment. Okay, and he finally had gotten self-control or a sound mind. And I was thinking about 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, where it reads, for the Most High have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Okay, and that's what he was trying to master, that self-control. And it's a cult classic. I mean, it bombed that summer, all right, but this movie has developed to a cult classic. And they don't really go into any really good training sequences, because sometimes you need a good training montage to understand what the character is going through to lead up to what he's going to actually fight or face in the film. But you just know that he's a master of something. All right, and sometimes they even show you how some students, and especially in good martial arts films, they never get a level of mastery until like towards the end. And that's how we are in this truth as well. It's like some people are on some levels than others, but sometimes it takes you going through something to actually learn. Some people just learn by doing. That's how I am. I got to learn by actually participating in, and it's learning it through that mastery. But 1 Corinthians chapter 9. Verse 25, I'm going to read all the way down to verse 27. Reads, 1 Corinthians 9, verse 25, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. Okay, so there's a lot of things in this world you can master that's not going to get you what is the kingdom of heaven is going to get you. Okay, reading on. Verse 26, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. Verse 27, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I preach to others, I myself should be a castaway. Okay, so this same thing with this character. He went up to Tibet. He was one kind of guy. He wanted to be a drug kingpin and a warlord. He came straight up demon, and he was this holy man found him and kidnapped him and taught him these different ways of the hypnosis and the telekinesis, as well as the concentration, and made him such a different, grounded man. Okay. And this is how we are in this truth. You leave that old man behind and become a new man. All right. But ultimately, we're supposed to set our affection on things above and not on the things of this planet. And you could tell he was just a playboy. He probably already had money before he went to Tibet, but he was getting away from it all to find something, and he just was eventually led to that holy man. All right, but that's how we gotta be in this truth. We gotta be separate from what's going on in this world, and setting our affection on the Most High. So I've been really deep in prayer the last couple of days, and concentration. It just comes into play. Colossians chapter 3 verse 2 reads, "Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth." Okay, but I'm going to end it on this. I always like to end my videos on a good note with some type of silver lining, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. So in other words, there is a happy ending. We got to remember that all these instructions are coming from the Most High, and He's the one who teaches us in the ways that we should go, and He's the one that ultimately guides us. So when you read Psalms chapter 32 verse 8, it backs that up. "I will instruct thee, teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with mine eye." And that's the kind of guidance we need. So with all the signs that are going to be shown to us in Jacob's trouble, Lord willing, I'm part of that number. We got to be able to concentrate on what the Most High is showing us, so that we're in line with His particular heart. Okay, so that we can obtain salvation. Okay. Well, I just want to share that little one. This lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, who gives me the strength and the spirit to continue to strive and endure in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and on to the next video.